The night my best friend showed up at my door crying, I realized the girl I protected for 10 years was the one I loved all along. Emma had been my best friend since high school, the kind of friend who knew every embarrassing story about me and still stayed. We studied together, laughed about stupid things, and spent most weekends hanging out like two people who forgot the world existed. Everyone always joked that we would end up dating someday, but we both laughed it off because friendship felt easier and safer than risking something bigger. Years passed and life slowly started pulling us in different directions. I started working long hours trying to build a career while Emma dated a few guys who never seemed good enough for her. Every time one of those relationships ended, she would show up with ice cream and a tired smile saying, well, that was a mistake. I would listen to her stories, give advice, and pretend it did not bother me watching someone else hold the place in her life where I secretly wished I was. One night everything changed. It was almost midnight when someone knocked on my apartment door. When I opened it, Emma was standing there with red eyes and her jacket pulled tight around her like she was trying to hold herself together. She walked inside quietly and sat on the couch before finally saying, I think I keep choosing the wrong people. I sat beside her and asked what happened this time. She laughed sadly and said the same thing that always happens: they like the idea of me, but they never really stay. We sat there in silence for a moment, the room filled only with the sound of rain hitting the windows. Then she looked at me and said something that made my heart stop. Why do you always stay? I did not have a clever answer ready, so I told her the truth. Because leaving you has never been an option for me. She stared at me like she had just realized something that had been obvious all along. Then she smiled softly and said, you know what is funny? I think the person I have been looking for this whole time has been sitting right next to me. My brain tried to process the moment, but my heart already knew what it meant. Years of quiet feelings suddenly felt impossible to hide. I told her I had been afraid to say anything because I did not want to lose the best friendship I had ever had. Emma shook her head and laughed quietly, saying, you idiot, you were never going to lose me. Then she leaned her head on my shoulder like she had done 100 times before, but somehow this time it felt completely different. That night the line between friendship and love finally disappeared and everything made sense in a way it never had before. Last summer we went back to our old high school football field where our friendship started 10 years earlier. Standing under the stadium lights, I held her hand and realized the best love stories are not the ones that start with sparks, but the ones that quietly grow from years of trust, laughter, and being there when it matters most.